Hey everybody, welcome back to GameSwap and Mason here on Top Deck Productions, streaming on Twitch TV. We are here for FNM round 4. Got some spicy modern coming in. This is a great matchup, Shadow versus blue-white control.
Yeah.
Typically blue-white control, you know, it's considered to be favored, but Shadow has a lot of tools to fight it.
Definitely.
Obviously, cards like Supreme Verdict, Detention Sphere, those things are pretty good, but Shadow is such a versatile deck that you can play your way out of all those.
So Matthew Shaw leading off with the turn 1 Serum Visions. I saw he had the Crucible of Worlds there, so he's definitely, his deck is definitely full out control.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's also got Blessed Alliance in his hand right now, and Supreme Verdict. Yeah,
wow.
Main board Blessed Alliance, which I am a big fan of. I think that card's so versatile.
Well, it does have 3 modes.
It does have 3 modes. That's more than a lot of cards have.
Yeah. What do you think the average number of modes on a card is?
Probably 1.05.
All right, that seems probably close.
Well, it depends if you're asking in the last 5 years.
Right,
before, because modes are now extremely common.
Right. So Patrick, looks like his turn 1 play was just Thought Scour himself. He does already have 4 cards in the yard, so he could get down a Tasker this turn. And now even a Gurmag Angler if he wants.
Yeah, you know how I feel about a Tasker if I'm blue-white control? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, probably. Unless you don't immediately have the path and Patrick gets on tap with Stubborn Denial.
Yeah. The way that Patrick and the way that Shadow wins this matchup is with copious amounts of hand disruption.
Right.
You want to go turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Thoughtseize, turn 3 Thoughtseize.
Yeah, so
and
it looks like
and then try to
Patrick is going to go with the Angler. There's a non-zero chance that Patrick is playing a Tombstalker tonight because on Tuesday Modern he was talking about playing one.
I told him to play one.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Yeah, I told him and Victor Kurz, I'm like, you guys got it. I watched them on camera get beat up by these flyers, and they never do it, but maybe he is. I'd love to see that.
All right, well, Patrick does get to untap. Not sure if he has the Stubborn Denial yet. And if he does attack here, I'm sure Matthew's just going to fire off that Blessed Alliance.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I guess you could also save it to have more modes, but
yeah,
because the more modes, the better. You know, just more value out of the card later.
Sure.
But that's a pretty good usage of it right here.
What if Patrick just reads him and doesn't even attack? Nope. Decides he's going to attack. It looks like Matthew actually has 2 Blessed Alliances.
I think if you're Matthew here, you just take it to the face.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Very conservative. I mean, he literally does have 2 Blessed Alliances.
I am certain that's the best play is to take it to the face.
So Patrick looks like he has at least 1 Fatal Push, maybe 2. Definitely not a very relevant card in this matchup. And Matthew's not even going to crack his fetch. He's going to draw his card for the turn.
I think he's light on lands, right?
Yeah, but he did draw a Crucible.
That's pretty good. If you go fetch, I think if you just fetch for a basic here, play out Crucible. Next turn you can play the so then you take 5 to the face, and then you're fetching and it puts you to 9 on turn 4.
Oh, Patrick did draw a Thoughtseize there, so it's a pretty strong draw.
Does Matthew have a control or a counter magic spell up?
Just Cryptic, so no, not currently.
Okay. Well, I guess you just take that.
So Patrick probably does not like the look of this hand. Double Blessed Alliance, Supreme Verdict.
The Spreading Seas on Blood Crypt is okay.
So you know what I mean. I'm not sure Patrick would do this, but taking the Blessed Alliance and then just swinging in there, even though he knows about the second one.
Yeah.
Like just to bluff the Stubborn Denial.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is,
of course, then you get verdicted, but
I think Matthews probably has a good reason for doing what he did, passing turn. But given that you don't have any interaction really except for Blessed, I kind of like main phase Spreading Seas on your Blood Crypt, draw a card.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I still don't think you need to fire off the Blessed this turn either.
Patrick's going to take the Supreme Verdict, yeah.
So I guess Patrick is.
All right, Patrick has 2 Fatal Pushes and a Gurmag on top of that Battle Rage and land. So the second Gurmag is fine, but you still have 2 Blessed Alliances to get through. And he has to make sure he can resolve the second Gurmag through Cryptic now as well.
Yeah.
Just gonna pass.
Not gonna swing. Yeah. I can't imagine that's the right play to not swing for Patrick. I mean, I understand why you're doing it, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because, well, I don't know. Eventually, he can either find Stubborn Isles or maybe more hand disruption to get rid of the Blessed Alliances, but you're right. You know, you're going to just have to muscle through them, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice if you could, you know, in a perfect world, Patrick has, like, you know, young Pyro mainboard or Snapcaster and can, you know, put out another attacker and not have to sack the 5/5. That's just so unlikely.
I think Matthew just drew Ally of Zendikar.
Oh, that's incredibly
good.
Yeah, he
here.
did. That is super fucking good here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well,
I'm not sure he has the confidence to run it out.
Right, it is all right here, but it's actually terrible because Patrick has Temur Battle Rage in hand. So he can just kill, he can just kill this right away.
True.
With a double strike and trample from Temur Battle Rage.
Yeah. Of course, then that's really just trading a card for a card.
Sure.
So.
But it also might let Patrick resolve something else next turn.
Yeah.
And for Matthew, he doesn't actually have 3 blue yet, so he wasn't able to hold a Cryptic.
Yeah, I mean he could have represented it by ghost courting himself, but he can't afford to lose a land at this point.
Dude, guy, no, this is not the Lantern Control Mirror. I'm sorry that we didn't get that one for you. Maybe next round.
That was actually we saw that. Oh, not we, but I saw that yesterday here at Swap. John Douglas was playing it against.
Oh, of course.
I think it was Patrick. No, who was it? Well, anyway, yeah, the Lantern Mirror happened yesterday at the store, and it was terrible, folks. The round took 65 minutes.
Of course, Patrick didn't even need to use his Battle Rage. He did have those fatal pushes that I kind of just had written off as totally dead, but they do take out the Knight token, so now he can just freely kill Gideon without
him. Oh, yeah, that's a definitely better use, because you don't want to throw away your Battle Rage, especially when your push is going to be useless.
So Matthew's hand is Cryptic, double Blessed Alliance, Spreading Seas, and the Crucible.
So did Matthew just say I have a token but didn't care to put it out?
No, he got fatal pushed.
Oh. I thought you were I thought Matthew had put out a token but not bothered to put one out because he's like, I know I'm going to chump block with it.
No. No, he had a 2/2 a 2 of hearts, I think was his Knight token.
Ah. That's a good one.
So Patrick also has Thought Scour. I think this means this means that he will be able to put down the second Angler this turn as well. Which seems pretty good.
Honestly, does second Angler seem good?
Well, yeah, because you know you can get it through counter. You already got rid of the Supreme Verdict. And it helps you play around Blessed Alliance.
Yeah, when you say get rid of the Supreme Verdict, it's not like there's
one.
Well,
sure. I mean, eventually he'll find another one.
Snap it. I don't
wow,
know.
But I mean, he just drew Snapcaster, so now instead of any of that, he can just go Snapcaster Thoughtseize. A lot of lines opened up just from those few. I mean, Patrick Thoughtscour himself. I legit fell asleep watching a Lantern Mirror on stream yesterday. Still my favorite deck. Yeah, that's respectable.
So.
So I don't know.
I don't like playing the second Gurmag. I understand.
I think if I'm Patrick, I give one draw here. I play the second Angler. Oh, I guess if you play the Angler here though, you can't. Well, no, you can. You can still leave Thoughtseize in your graveyard. So you play the second Angler here. Next turn, you Snapcaster Thoughtseize, and then you're pretty far ahead. Of course, if you top deck Supreme Verdict exactly this turn, it's bad. But
I like Snapcaster. Wait,
it doesn't even care about
he's
getting.
Swinging at Matthew.
Just getting in there for 10.
So it's nice you put your opponent to 4 and you put him in range of Colligan's command or something, but that doesn't seem good enough.
That is definitely not.
So now
the line I expected. Wow.
No, because now your opponent can still just double Blessed Alliance.
Oh, he's playing a Snapcaster. Sure, Snapcaster Chimbo Battle Rage next turn, but now you got to get through.
Your opponent has double Blessed Alliance still.
Yeah, that and also
Gideon.
the Gideon. Yeah.
I don't see how that's a winning line for Patrick. Maybe we're missing something, but that's just.
I mean, Patrick does have another fatal push, but yeah, I don't know how he's going to get these Anglers through the Blessed Alliance.
I mean, he can. So what Patrick can do is he can Snapcaster Thoughtseize on his main phase.
No, he got rid of the Thoughtseize. The only card in his graveyard was
is the Battle Rage.
Yeah, definitely not a fan of that. Of the lines we were discussing, that was the least likely, I think, to happen.
I just don't. I don't see how that ever wins you the game when you know if you didn't think your opponent had 2 bless.
And now Matthew can ghost quarter himself to get cryptic.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a very odd line to play for Patrick. I wonder what. Maybe he's running. Well, even Bolt doesn't kill him from this point, so I don't.
No, I mean putting him to 4 is certainly interesting. If you can snap Colligans, but that's so unlikely, and your opponent have to have no counter magic and gain no life. I mean, at this point, Matthew doesn't even have to fire off both blessed. He can just blessed once and escalate, or gain 4 life.
Right.
I mean, this is, I like Matthew's play. You just go on the ghost quarter.
Well, that's interesting. Patrick now can go get his basic swamp and fatal push the token this turn.
No, I think did Patrick mill his swamp?
Oh, maybe he did.
I think that's why Matthew's doing that.
Oh yeah, he must have.
Patrick, I think, is wondering whether or not he has to shuffle.
Yeah, he must have milled his swamp or something. Wow.
Yes, that's a straight wasteland.
Okay, that's really bad. That's even wow. Yeah, I mean, at least if he could have got his basic swamp though, he could have then fatal pushed this night token. And now, right?
You don't have to shuffle, do you?
Yeah, you do. You have to search your library.
Oh, you do?
I don't think you can just choose not to. You can fail to find, but you can't just choose not to search.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that's right.
Well, that does cut
with path. You can choose not to search, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it might say your opponent may search the library. Well, Patrick did draw a 4th land there, which is relevant because that at least now he can cast his Snapcaster Teemo Battle Rage line. But I'm just really not sure about that.
I think Patrick did have some lines to victory, but it doesn't seem like one of them.
Maybe he doesn't have the fear of Gideon that everyone got from playing Standard against it for so long.
Yeah, you got to respect those 2/2 jump blocks.
This thing, like, if you let this stick around for too long, you do just lose.
The card's insane.
It maybe seems like it doesn't do a whole lot. And now, yeah, Patrick's just going to pass the turn. Wow. It says May Search. So Ghost Quarter says May Search.
Okay, so maybe Patrick was...
Yeah, it's controller
Yeah,
May Search.
you don't have to search with the Ghost Quarter.
Huh.
So maybe Patrick just was wondering if he can... I don't even know. He was wondering if he can search without finding. He must know that you can fail to find. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
This has been an awkward draw for Matthew, though, without having reliable access to Cryptic.
All right, and he just drew a Spell Snare, which is actually quite good here against the
Spell Snare is
Snapcaster,
very good here, yeah. And then you could play out Crucible here, leave up Spell Snare, play a Ghost Quarter, or play... God, I like all those plays. If you just start attacking his mana base, he's done for.
No, I mean, really, just Crucible here, play another Ghost Quarter, blow up 2 of his lands.
I think you want to hold up Spell Snare just for fun, because then he'd still have 2.
Well, you can still do that, because he missed his land drop this turn.
You can't play Crucible and have Ghost Quarter up and leave up Spell Snare, is what I'm saying.
Yes, you can. You can place the Ghost Quarter out of his graveyard.
Crucible's a 3-drop.
Yeah, I know. So he taps 3 mana, leaves open an island, plays the Ghost Quarter out of his graveyard.
Oh, I thought you were saying double Ghost Quarter.
Oh.
I was saying you can't double Ghost Quarter Spell Snare and Crucible.
Yeah.
But yes, you can. That's which is the first line I said, which is Crucible, Ghost Quarter, Spell Snare.
Maybe I misspoke. All right, well, we dealt with 1 night token, but I honestly don't think Patrick can win from here.
No, he almost certainly can. I'm not sure anything that gets... I mean, if Patrick is playing like 2 Bolts main board, that could get him there. But
sure.
We got to play around the Blessed Alliance gain life.
Maybe he's running a Skullcrack.
Skullcrack.
So Snapcaster on the stack. Matthew has the option to Spell Snare this.
All right, well. I don't think he gave a shit about the Snapcaster, frankly.
Yeah, it doesn't do much. I mean, I guess he can like flashback Fatal Push and take out the other knight, but...
But that doesn't even win you the game because you just Blessed Alliance for 4.
Yeah. All right, so it gets Spell Snared. So now... Is this exactly where Patrick wanted to be? If Patrick top decks Team or Battle Rage, he wins here. I wonder if he got it.
Or Snapcaster?
Yeah, or Snapcaster. Albeit, unlikely, but... These awkward plays make your opponent dizzy, and he doesn't know what to do anymore. Sure. All right, so he's in with both anglers. Yeah, here's Blessed Alliance. One of them gets sacrificed. Okay. Block the other one.
So I guess would Stubborn Denial have won the game there too? That's why I'm not sure Matthew needed to spell snare that snap, I guess, because if not having that blue mana up was really very scary.
The second,
there.
yeah, not having two be able to use two mana.
What's that draw? Oh,
that was
that's
a verdict.
But we do have exact verdict mana.
And we also have a Gideon that can
Yeah.
kill Patrick in 2 turns.
Yeah.
Man, I really think Patrick should have taken out the Gideon as soon as it hit the board. He probably would have been so much better off.
Yeah. I also think that playing out second Gurmag, this has just been a strange game.
He's also continuing to get his mana destroyed.
Yeah, but Matthew's choked on lands. I mean, we're playing out the Crucible?
Yeah, leaving up 2 mana for another Blessed Alliance.
Blessed?
Yeah.
But now we could lose. Oh, it's
Patrick has
got
2 lands. Oh,
That's
jeez.
rough.
Yeah.
He probably could have just fetched that. Fetched that polluted Delta. Not sure why he didn't. Matthew actually left himself blown out since he didn't have knowledge of what was in Patrick's hand. If that was like a, I mean, I guess if it's most likely a card that would have won in the game, so it's not likely that Patrick was sandbagging it. But with only 2 mana up there, Patrick loses to a whole lot of 2-card combinations in Patrick's hand. Snapcaster, Stubborn Denial, Snapcaster, Teamer Battle Rage, Stubborn Denial.
And now Matthew's hand is just totally full. He's got Cryptic, he's got Supreme Verdict, he's got Snapcaster.
Yeah, these
definitely
two
the point
basic
beyond the
lands
return.
with 2 Ghost Quarters has made it very awkward on Matthew's mana.
Well, sure, but he's still plenty far ahead.
How many Water Graves have we gone through?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Can we spreading seize this Water Grave, take him off black mana?
It's possible. I mean, Patrick might be out of fetchable sources, I guess, if he's not fetching, or he's probably just conserving it to see what he needs so it doesn't get
I
Ghost
think we
Quartered.
might have milled another Water Grave or something.
Yeah. I always see this happen with that Shadow.
I think. Yeah. Okay. We'll see the verdict. I was gonna say, did Matthew already Ghost Quarter 1 Water Grave?
Matthew has a draw step Ghost Quarter. All right. Yeah, Patrick's just going to scoop it up. Wow, so Matthew takes that game. I wonder if was there some sort of information we overlooked that we had and maybe Patrick didn't? Because it seemed like Patrick had a much easier line.
I don't think so. Yeah,
to
though
victory
at the same time, though, from Matthew's point of view, I think Matthew had less sketchy, risky ways to win that game.
Sure.
For the first 3 or 4 turns, Matthew, I think, was playing it very conservatively,
Right.
which is very good. But then Matthew left
even just tapping out for Gideon on 4 was like kind of risky.
Yeah.
I mean, it ended up working out for him, but
so yeah, I felt that Matthew was really he was ultra respecting Stubborn Denial, which is good. But then I think some of the lines at the end were kind of loose and actually left him dead to good top decks.
yeah.
So that was interesting. I'd love to see how else. I'd love to see 2 players play the same sequence of cards.
Yeah, there's yeah.
Two other players. Yeah, it's an interesting game.
So look like Matthew has 5 cards to bring in, or is that just a coincidence?
That might be what he's doing.
Let's see.
What 5 cards are those, do we think? Probably
Celestial Purge, Dispel.
the 3rd Supreme Verdict.
I saw he was looking at Rest in Peace. I don't know if he settled on that.
And maybe maybe a Vendilion Click. Do we want that here?
I mean, it does close out the game if your opponent
opponent takes out a lot of their removal
and a lot of their lone life.
And I mean, flyers are great against these shadow decks, but
It looks like actually Matthew has the Vendilion Click main. He's thinking about taking it out.
oh really?
Yeah.
So I guess you take it out if you think that your opponent's going to leave in removal. You can't get a read on it. If you're Patrick, you're worried like, is this guy going to sideboard into 4 Spell Quellers and I'm going to get my shit rocked?
Yeah. So it looks like he took out
Click.
Took out Click, Jace, Memory Adept, Think Twice, Spreading Seas, and Detention Sphere.
Could bring in like I don't know. Vidalcan Shackle, you don't have enough islands for that, really, and it gets blown up by Kolaghan's Command.
Looks like he... Oh, and Timely is also... He's rethinking the Detention Sphere.
Timely's alright. Detention Sphere, I think, is very good. Not only because it is a 3-mana answer to every threat in Patrick's deck, but it also gets through some of the annoying threats like Pyro Tokens or Lingering Souls if Patrick has a white splash. So, I like Detention Sphere a lot for the match.
Patrick's definitely taking out his Fatal Pushes.
What if Matthew's got a Runed Halo?
He does, actually, main.
Main?
Yeah, I saw.
Hell yeah. I'm a big fan of Runed Halo. Runed Halo is really, really, really good.
Yeah. Looks like he's actually taking out a Cryptic. Maybe he thinks it's too slow. Yeah, put the Detention Sphere back.
Yeah, I think, well, Cryptic, it's not that it's too slow, but it's that it fights against Stubborn Denial so poorly.
Right, yeah.
Like, if you and your opponent are trying to out-blue each other, the one of you casting the 4-mana counter is going to get fucked.
Sure.
All right, let's see what Patrick could cobble together here. Oh, I was like, that's a very interesting hand, and that's his sideboard.
Yeah, a lot of Lilianas.
So I think you want the Liliana the Veil.
Command.
I think you want both Liliana the Veil, because if you stick it, it's an easy win con. I think you want one Liliana the Last Hope, just because of the value engine.
Yeah.
I don't think you want both of them, though, with no real targets for the +1. I like Kolaghan's Command a lot. Great way to win the value game. Make your opponent discard, get a creature back. Is probably the most relevant mode.
Yeah. He also brought in Brutalities, and I think another counterspell.
Brutality is really hit or miss here, though. You know, because it's like straight worse than a Duress. You don't care about the drain, really. You care about the drain if Matthew does something weird, like...
Well, if you put him to 4...
Well, yeah. But I can't get behind Brutality. Like, unless you see some creatures... I guess it's relevant if you kill, like, a Gideon Soldier and make him discard. But that doesn't even seem good either. I mean, that seems so corner. Like... I'd way rather have a Duress than a Collector Brutality here. I'd rather have almost any card on my main deck over Brutality here, right?
Any card?
Well, not Fatal Push, right? But we took out Fatal Pushes for Liliana.
Yeah, I think he might have also taken out Mishra's Bubbles. Which I don't actually know why he's playing Mishra's Bubble, because he's not on the Traverse plane.
People play Mishra's Bobble because it...
Fuels Delve.
Well, it can get you the card faster than other cantrips.
Right.
And it synergizes very nicely with fetch lands, unlike some cantrips.
Yeah, and it fuels Delve. Which is, you can say about any card, but...
Well, that's not true. You can't say that about...
the Eldrazi Titans.
Yeah, exactly. You can't say that about Emrakul.
Or Blightsteel Colossus.
Or Blightsteel Colossus.
Or Worldspine Worm.
Yeah, or Glittering Wish.
Yeah, it exiles itself.
Or Treasure Find.
Yeah.
Or that new 2-mana blue card that gets an instant sorcery back.
Flood of Recollection.
Flood of Recollection.
Yeah.
You know what else doesn't fuel Delve?
Rest in Peace?
Rest in Peace.
Well, that's what's in Matthew's hand. Matthew found a lot of his sideboard here. He's got both Rest in Peace and Celestial Purge. And it looks like Patrick does have Trembling Inquisition.
Celestial Purge is okay if you know your opponent has the Planeswalkers. If you don't know your opponent, this is a great hand for Matthew.
Yeah.
You might like one fewer land, but honestly, having these lands is fine. You want to be able to hit your 3/4 drops on time.
Yeah. So what do we think? Depending on what the rest of Patrick's hand looks like, which is not, well, it's Snapcaster-centric, but it's not Delve-centric. Probably take the Rest in Peace then.
This is actually a great hand for Patrick. It looks like just to run out a Snapcaster Inquisition on turn 3.
Yeah.
If Matthew doesn't have the guts to drop Rest in Peace on turn 2, fearing that it'll get countered, then I think your Patrick just runs out that.
Or you could just take the Rest in Peace with this thing.
You could take the Rest in Peace. That's probably the best play.
He might just want to take D-Sphere though, since he does have 2 Snapcasters.
Does Patrick have is that a?
I think it's a Death Shadow and a Kolaghan's Command.
And 2 Snapcasters?
Yeah.
That's what both blue cards are snaps?
Yeah. So he did decide to take Rest in Peace.
Okay. A card that seems really good for Patrick is Spell Snare. I doubt he has it, but I was thinking one of those snaps might be a Spell Snare, which actually is insanely.
Looks like Matthew drew a ley line off the top. Ley line not great off the top. You definitely wanted that one card fewer.
Oh yeah, that's I'm not sure why you have that in the.
To insulate yourself against discard, I'm sure.
Oh sure, but definitely. But is that worth being down the card in that way? I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like you kind of just have to weather the storm on discard. The ley line doesn't seem like that. Seems like what a Boggles deck wants or what a Ad Nauseam deck wants, but not the blue-white control deck.
So Patrick just runs out of Snapcaster main phase there, spearing another spell snare.
Yeah.
I think Patrick desperately needs a third land here. Yeah, he's got Kolaghan's Command, Shadow, Angler, and another snap, but no third land yet.
It could be that this is like the one of or two of ley line in the sideboard.
He had two.
He had two. Yeah. Okay. That you like try to you bring it in against like Ad Nauseam and Storm just so you can try to cast it on turn 4.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Ooh, Gideon and Snap there off the Scries from Seer Visions.
I don't think you want either. It leaves them both.
Why would you? You want both of those? Yeah, those cards are great.
Does he have double? Oh, never mind.
He's got 2 more Fields of Ruins.
Yeah. Okay.
And Patrick cycles. He's really got to find his third land here. Oh, we found it. Wow. All right.
Easy
well,
money. So yeah. So now
that definitely alleviates his hand quite a bit.
So do we Snap Inquisition here?
Yeah. He could also just cast Gurmag, but I'm not sure that's.
I think Snap Inquisition's a better play.
We did see Patrick does like casting his Gurmags though.
Yeah, I guess my thought on the Gideon and the snap that Matthew left on top, in my mind, you just want to be digging for a path. But I guess when you have the D-Sphere and Purge, it's not too big of a deal. I just get kind of worried about Purge not being backed up, like a 2-mana spell not being backed up by a Dispel or something.
Yeah. Like against a Stubborn Denial deck, I don't want to rely on D-Sphere, Celestial, Purge to try to deal with these big threats if they come along. But I guess I guess Gideon's always going to be fine, but of course still. All right. I think Matthew's game plan is to next turn Snapcaster Serum Visions.
Yeah, Snap Inquisition on turn 3 is definitely the play we wanted from the get-go.
Oh, he's doing Elspeth.
Oh, Elspeth.
So Matthew is loaded on win cons here.
Elspeth seems terrible right now.
He is kind of lacking interaction, right? He's only got the Celestial Purge now, and yeah, Patrick obviously had to take the D-Sphere though, otherwise it would have just gotten both of his Snapcasters.
And if I were Matthew, I'd really like a Vendilion Click to hardcast right now and get rid of my own Elspeth.
Sure. He's just going to go with Snap Serum Visions.
Snap Serum seems fine.
So we know he's drawing the Gideon, and he has Negate and Spell Snare. I don't think you want those. Yeah,
so Spell Snare would be fine, except for your opponent already has 2 snaps in play.
Right.
So how many more can they cast?
Ooh, wow, that was a great draw from Patrick. Liliana, the Last Hope, kills his opponent's Snapcaster here.
And he's tapped out. Oh, that's so good. That is an incredibly good draw.
That's got to be the play.
So what did Matthew do with his Scries there?
He put them both at the bottom.
Okay, good. I think that's the right play. I think keeping the Spell Snare would be fine if you didn't see 2 snaps already. But
Matthew's plays are going to line up too. So Patrick goes Liliana here, kill Snapcaster, attacks for 4. Next turn, maybe Matthew just plays Gideon. Patrick can Kolaghan's Command, kill the Knight, make Matthew discard a card, kill Gideon. Oh my goodness. If this might just line up super poorly for Matthew.
I'd love if Matthew drew another Detention Sphere and took out both snaps.
Hey, that would be great for him.
That'd be a sweet line. But you still have this Lily on board you got to deal with. But Celestial Purge deals very well with that Lily, so I think you sort of have to deal with the Lily now.
I don't know if you can. Oh, Celestial Purge.
With the Purge, yeah. Also, shame on Matthew for not having a full art Celestial Purge. Those things are beautiful. Where it's like the regular ones are so ugly.
Alternatively, Matthew could have just cast Leyline of Sanctity there.
That seems real bad. So I think you're fine here to take 4.
Yeah.
Go to 9.
Patrick's going to Thought Scour himself.
So he's going to try to get this Gurmag out, I guess?
Probably. Finds
And Matthew does not have an answer for that Gurmag, does he?
Not that he's used the Celestial Purge, he does not.
But Matthew does have the 6 lands. No, he's only got 5 lands.
Yeah, he's got 5 lands. And here's another Thoughtseize too.
Oh, jeez.
So probably take Gideon. And I think you can, well,
I think you might just take the Elspeth. I don't think you're too worried about the Gideon with 2 snaps.
You did lose to it last game.
Yeah, but you'll definitely lose to the Elspeth if he hits 6 mana.
Right.
Like, Gideon you can beat. Elspeth you cannot beat once it's on the board.
Right.
So I don't know. I wonder if he takes the Elspeth.
I mean, Patrick does have lethal for next turn. So if he takes Gideon,
You mean after he plays the Gurmag?
yeah, or the Death Shadow. If he takes Gideon, yeah, he could just play Death Shadow or Gurmag and then hope his opponent doesn't top deck
Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, I mean,
Or even Wrath of God would be fine right now.
yes.
Or Terminus.
Let's see. What's it going to be? It was an island. That will not do it. And I don't think Matthew has any way to stop this.
So that's exactly lethal, right? 9
Yep.
damage. So I think you play the island. And no, you don't play the island because then he knows you're dead. You play the plains.
Yeah.
And then you just bluff. You should have just played the plains confidently.
Not thought about it. Just dropped the plane. Yeah, there's the planes pass. All right. Maybe Patrick will play around Settle the Wreckage. Who knows?
You know, Matthew could have Field of Ruined himself on upkeep to try to increase the chance that he drew a live spell.
Would he have enough mana then, though?
We wouldn't have enough mana for Verdict, but he would have enough mana for Path and things like that. Path and Blessed Alliance.
Animate Colonnade tapped. There we go.
Easy money.
Patrick's like, okay, and that'll do it. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Matthew Shaw.
Yeah.
He's a classy blue-eye control player. All right, so game 3 here. Like we said at the outset,
Liliana Last Hope was great there.
well, Liliana Last Hope was really great. Was the 5 discard spells we saw play.
Also that, yeah.
We saw
3.
Inquisition, Snap Inquisition,
Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize.
Yeah,
Sure there wasn't a 4th one?
I'm sure.
All right.
So Matthew does have the Spell Quellers in his board. He could bring them in here on the play for game 3.
Yeah, you could do it. I'm a big fan of these Arcade Post deck boxes. I think that's a they've got Edgar Allan Poe quotes.
Oh, the
on it.
Raven, yeah. Nope, looks like Matthew is happy with this current configuration.
Spellqueller is kind of awkward when you miss Gurmag and
Yeah.
Tasker, but
But they only cost 1.
is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how that works.
Well, you know what Tombstalker costs?
2.
No, Mario costs 8. You're an idiot.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would love to see Patrick play a Tombstalker.
I don't know if he actually brought it in. He said he was thinking about it.
I don't think he does. But hey, I bet Matthew wins this game with a Vendilion Click in the air.
He took his Vendilion Click
He's
out.
probably got 2.
He could have 2. Do you think his 2 mainboard Vendilion
No.
Clicks? That seems a little strange. But it does seem weird to take he may have put it back in. I don't know. He did shuffle around some cards right at the end, so I'm not certain, but I think we've brought Tombstalker up on screen probably every week we've commentated.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just for fun, can we get up the Future Sight Fat Pack box again?
I don't think we need that. Although we might already have it saved.
For those of you who don't know, the Future Sight Fat Pack box is a Tombstalker fighting a Corlash heir to the Black Blade, whatever it is. Black
yeah.
Blade. Heir to Black Blade.
Well, Matthew found his rest in peace again. As well as a
Pretty good.
path and a negate. Yeah, that hand seems good.
So usually what you do against Rest in Peace decks with these Grixis Shadow decks is you shave on some of your delve threats, and you try to bring in non-graveyard threats like Pyro, because you just are never going to cast a Gurmag Angler.
Right.
So my guess would be Patrick is only playing like 2 or 3 delve threats in the 70 or in the 60 right now.
Patrick did take a mulligan.
That's really bad.
Yeah,
That is really bad for Patrick. That is super bad. Not to be confused with that terrible movie.
Did you know that when Future Sight was released, Magic was for ages 13 plus?
What is it now?
I don't know. Probably the same.
Yeah, but when you think about it, that's like a super high age for a board game. You know,
Yeah.
like even pretty complex board games are like 9 and up, 10 and
Yeah.
up, 11 and up.
But there are some dark themes in Magic, so that might be why.
Very dark themes, not the least of which is Tombstalker. Can we get
Yeah.
Tombstalker on the screen?
We are.
Yeah.
Keep Tombstalker off the screen, please.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Don't even get me started on Circu Demir Lobotomist.
Yeah, that's a rough one. So Patrick does have a Thoughtseize there. This hand looks pretty good.
Or Smallpox from Time Spiral.
Irrigated Farmland Pass.
That is a hell of a card.
All right, Patrick is definitely going to get his pick of discard spells here.
Well, you know what's a sweet combo is Crucible of Worlds, Irrigated Farmland, Cryptic Command to bounce your own Irrigated Farmlands back to hand.
Nice. Yeah, you can just cycle it every turn.
Classic.
So Matthew's saying, yeah, pretty good. Ruined Halo, Negate, and Rest in Peace.
So Ruined Halo's insane. Negate is really not good in the matchup.
Justin, can you please
But you have
stop?
to bring it in. Negate is just like very average. It fights terribly against Stubborn Denial because it's just less efficient. But if you can hit a Planeswalker or hit a Kolaghan's Command, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
If you have to hit a 1-mana hand disruption spell later, that's fine.
So, I don't know. Does Patrick just take Rest in Peace or I'm not? I don't know. He could just take Ruined Halo.
No, I think you take the Ruined Halo.
But, like, Ruined Halo, you can, I mean.
You Ruined Halo named Shadow, it's
Sure, then you have to win with Snap and Delver.
Yeah, Delve card.
Angler,
I mean,
yeah.
it's tough.
No, he does take the Rest in Peace.
Takes the rest. All right, well. So if you're Matthew here, do you just preemptively fire off? I think you do. You just fire off the Ruined Halo.
Nope. He's just going to play a tap Colonnade.
All right. I think Ruined Halo naming Death Shadow is a fine play there because it can't get stubborn. But
Right. Well, there's an Angler for Patrick. And Patrick does also have a Bolt.
this Bolt's a great card because you can leave it in and deal with the Spell Queller and not feel bad about it like you would with the Fatal Push.
Yeah.
So if you're Patrick here, all you got to do is take that Stubborn Denial on the bottom of the library and just
sneak it right on top.
Yeah, Dutch shuffle it right up to the top, and then don't offercut.
Or you put it right in the middle and you have them cut into it.
Sure, that'll work.
So Patrick could play an Angler here. He's got another Thoughtseize, which is pretty good. Matthew drew another Colonnade for turn, so does not have a whole lot going on.
2 Colonnades are not where you want to be. Ooh, Thoughtseize take the Ruined Halo here is pretty good.
Yep.
Matthew has nothing in a hand but a negate.
And I think this allows Patrick to play an Angler, maybe.
Yeah, I wish we could see his graveyard.
Street Wraith.
I think he's 1 card short.
Street Wraith, land, Thoughtseize, that's 5. Yeah, he's 1 card short.
Yeah. If only he had a Thought Scour. Hashtag.
Oh, he does have another Street Wraith,
Oh,
though.
wow. Okay, well, that'll get you there.
So he's down to 6, but yeah, here's a turn to Angler.
I want to see Matthew stall a little bit and then cast a Secure the Waste for X equals 6 and then just swing at his opponent for 6 tokens.
We'll see if Matthew drew any way to answer this Grimag Angler. A Sphinx's Rev. Well, that's not sure you're getting to that one.
I really don't like the negate coming in.
He has a main.
He has a negate main?
Yeah.
No. Well, I don't like it staying in. Like I know you're not playing a heavy fetch land deck, so like Logic Knot is a little less tenable, but to me negate is just really narrow in this matchup. Like it's so bad at fighting stubborn.
Well, while turn 2 Angler is good, the rest of Patrick's hand is 3 lands
and a bolt. Well, that's almost as bad as negate and
yeah,
negate Sphinx's Revland. These are some interesting games. What was that off the top?
Nah, didn't get good like it. It looks like it's a white card. Might have been Timely.
I thought it was an opt.
I think it was a Path. Path is very good.
Yeah. I think you pass turn.
Yeah, it was a Path.
I think you pass turn, see if your opponent does anything end of turn, and then before he draws, or in response to the fetch here, I would go ahead and path. There you go. Nice play, Matt. Nice play.
Yeah, plus you get to cut down on time by letting him search for both his lands simultaneously.
Sure. And now he's getting a basic out, so your Field of Ruin becomes better.
Yeah.
You know what I want to see out of this this blue-white control deck, out of the sideboard, is Nimble Obstructionist.
I had somebody use that against me in Standard on Wednesday.
It's really good.
It's
a sweet card.
He stifled my. Well, it didn't end up being relevant for the game, but it was pretty cool.
That card would have been like. This card could have been like pretty much like. It could have been like Snapcaster powerful, if it had had an ETB effect. But if it had an ETB effect, it'd just be like they'd have to make it a 2/1 flyer instead of a 3/1 flyer.
Yeah.
Like if this card stifled on ETB in addition to cycling, this would be one of the best cards ever printed.
Yeah. So Patrick Thoughtscour there, milled Snapcaster and Teamer Battle Rage, but he drew into another Thoughtscour, which I think he's going to play here. Life total all the way down to 4, so he's dead to 1 hit from Colonnade. What do we think about that?
Seems pretty loose, but
I mean, he doesn't have a way to remove Colonnade, I don't
No,
think.
he's got Fatal Push, and
I don't think he has Fatal Push.
He can bolt Colligan's Command it.
Yeah, right, but that's not going to happen. All right, another Thought Scour. Mills, good card, land.
Draws a Shadow.
All right, well, that Shadow's good. Here's Shadow. Currently a 9/9. Of course, Patrick can always bolt himself to make it into a 11/11.
11/11.
Or 12/12, actually.
Yeah, take the Watery Grave is a good play. And that Watery Grave is like, it's like a super wasteland because Matthew's going to get a
Yeah, nice.
land.
Patrick does get the bolt off there, though, as Matthew taps out of negate mana.
But is that a good use of the bolt?
Well, yeah, because now Patrick has a fetch land in hand. He just cracks that, and Death Shadow.
Oh, it's only 11 damage.
Oh, you're right. It's 11. Yeah, yeah.
To me, that bolt is...
Wait, no. If Patrick has another shock land in his deck, you can just kill Matthew next turn with Shadow being a 12/12. But Matthew top deck Supreme Bird.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Go to 1, do a 12, yep.
So that is...
Also pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And
Never
now
mind.
Patrick is just dead to... Well...
Colligan's a little late to the party. But it's still pretty good here. If you go discard, get Shadow back, play Shadow, I think that's what you do.
Matthew doesn't actually have the 5th land yet to animate Colonnade.
So I think you definitely Colligan's... Oh, you don't have double black anymore. Oh, yeah, you do. Sorry. Yeah, Colligan's get Shadow back, make you discard, and play the Shadow.
The problem is if Matthew top decks a land, Patrick's just dead to Celestial Colonnade. But you gotta do what you gotta do, so. Yep, discard, get back Shadow. So Matthew can either discard Negate or Sphinx's Rev. Yeah, obviously goes with Negate. Shadow's back, and he did not draw the land, so Patrick gets another turn.
Wait, did Matthew draw a Cryptic?
I'm not sure.
I think that's a Cryptic.
Oh, it's a Serum Visions.
Oh.
Instead, he's just going to Sphinx's Rev for 2.
Yeah, I guess that puts you out of range of fetch land, so that seems fine. Though if Patrick goes Street Wraith into fetch land, then you're still screwed.
If he gets his Death Shadow to a 14/14.
Never mind, just kidding. If only that worked. If only. Well, all you get is just gotta have a Phyrexian
Patrick
Unlight
does have
play.
2
I think
lands
they
in
changed
hand,
that
but,
ruling, didn't they?
but now Patrick is dead to Celestial Colonnade, so he can attack for a healthy amount. I guess Teamer Battle Rage did it there, as did Snapcaster for Bolt. So he had quite a few live draws. Unfortunately, he just drew one too many lands. And assuming Matthew just goes for the Colonnade hit next turn, that'll be it.
So, what do you think of Grixis control right now?
It's fine.
I think it might be better than Grixis Shadow.
I think control with the white in it is better in general, though. 2 lands, and yeah, that'll do it. Very close one there. Good play from Matthew there, just gaining 2 life with the Sphinx's Rev.
Yeah.
Patrick had a lot of live outs. That would not. Well, that would have been good. But
It needed that a while ago.
yeah. Still, it goes down to that game 1. There was very confusing lines from Patrick. I wonder if when he goes back to watch this, he'll think that I wonder if he'll agree with what he did, or maybe he'll see that a different line.
Sure.
Could have been better. So that'll do it for a pretty long round 4 here. Pretty good match. Nice back and forth, lot of interaction. We will try to be back for round 5. As you know, if you watch the stream frequently, sometimes in round 5, a lot of the players just like to split their match, get some prize money, and go home. So, assuming we're able to find a match, we should be back for round 5 very shortly. So, stay tuned, guys. Thank you.
booty.